Hi, and welcome to the Site Collective webinar. So Site Collective, as you know, stands for Caribbeans in Tech and Entrepreneurship. We started a monthly webinar series that will go through different topics that'll engage and pretty much teach our community of Caribbeans in Tech and Entrepreneurship. So for this very first webinar, the topic that was chosen is how to grow your network and your net worth. So my name is Georgianne Gatt McCoy. I am the founder of the Site Collective and previously Illicit Mind. So let's just dive right in. I'm the founder of the Site Collective. I started the Site Collective back in 2014 as an initiative to get together Caribbeans that are in tech and entrepreneurship, because I know when I would go out to the networking events and partake in the tech community, I felt kind of my Caribbean heritage was a little bit left out. You know, they had Blacks in tech groups, different Latino in tech groups, and Hispanics in tech groups. And I felt like the Caribbean culture offered kind of a spin that would be really unique and nice to see in the tech ecosystem and scope. So I started that, and every year we grow and increase, and I'm really excited about the stuff that we're doing with the Site Collective. In my personal life, I'm a mom, I'm also a wife, and in my professional life, I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I've started a few companies over my time. My favorite thing to do is operations and problem solving and marketing. I'm a community builder, speaker, author, and diversity and tech enthusiast. So, I love putting people from different backgrounds together to make them work and achieve awesome things. Again, I love humans and problem solving. Put those two things together and you have a happy Georgie. So GSD with Georgie is my current project, where I help folks improve on their operations, their systems, growth hacking. So pretty much helping them get stuff done and in the most effective and efficient way possible. And the island that I'm repping as a Caribbean in tech is Jamaica. I was born and raised there. Next slide. So for this workshop, again, we'll be going over networking and net worth. And this topic was chosen for me because over the last 3 to 4 years, I've been doing extreme networking. Not on purpose. I started by just wanting to learn more about the tech ecosystem in New York City. And then through that, I would meet many different people who were millionaires, billionaires, entrepreneurs, teachers, professionals, athletes, techies, so many different people from different backgrounds. And through meeting all these different people, hedge fund managers, investors, I was able to grow my network. And through growing my network of people that I knew, I was able to grow my network. I've made tens of thousands of dollars through, offering value, not expecting anything in return. And then when folks have opportunities, I would get referred for these job opportunities, partnership opportunities, and then hence my net worth grew through that. So I'll just run through the discussion really quickly. We've all heard of the saying, your network equals your net worth. It simply means based on who you know, it affects the amount you could earn financially through your lifetime. We see this all the time with millionaires and billionaires. They give their kids $100 million loan or $1 million loan, and their friends of their friends invest and purchase from their kids and family members and their network. We see this through every day, again, with millionaires and partnerships. So in this session, we'll go over how to network through events and make valuable connections, how to network online, because right now this is a webinar and the digital scope is getting so huge, but it is a huge new opportunity for you to meet people that you might have never been in the same room with in person, or the concept of having a seat at the table. We all have a seat behind our screen. And if we don't have a seat, you can make yourself a seat. It's really a lot easier to get access to rooms that you've never been in before through the digital scope. And then introduction etiquette for meeting new people digitally. I'm pretty sure we've all asked for an email introduction or a connection digitally, or, slide into someone's DM, but there is a etiquette that you could use behind it, so that way you have a higher success rate when you do that cold calling or reaching out to someone randomly online. So let's just jump right into it. Join us as we learn how to organically grow and increase our net worth through our network. So as you can see here, I love gifts. We have Floyd throwing the money at us because, again, when you're networking, as we see on the left, your network, the amount of money that will be thrown at you, does increase. And it is very organic if you network properly. Again, just meeting the right people, they'll refer you for things, put you in the position to make that money and that financial increase in your life. So our agenda will go over 4 different sections: in-person networking, online networking, the follow-up, aka the email etiquette, and the relationship building. Because networking and meeting people is not the only important part, but following up and building on those relationships and creating a relationship from the people with the people that you meet is the real key to it all. So let's start with in-person networking. Like I said, I started in-person networking and meeting folks back in like 2014, and I went to over 100 events in 1 year. I don't know, don't ask me. I was a little crazy at the time. I was young, still kind of young now. I was really young, new to the ecosystem, and I just wanted to see and explore everything that was going on. So I found out about meetup.com. Meetup.com is, we have a Caribbean Society meetup group. Most of you are probably watching this from the meetup group, and you just locally find groups of people that are interested in the same themes and topics. So, they have moms groups, dads groups, play groups, rock climbing groups, business groups. They have many different really engaging and connected groups on meetup.com. Eventbrite.com is an event platform. Really great resource. Again, we even put this up on Eventbrite for collective to register on Eventbrite to partake in this workshop. And it was a really huge tool because you could not only see local events, but you could see events in different states and different regions. So you could just partake in the events. Some events are priced, some events are free, but just seeing what's out there is really important for in-person networking. So sign up on Meetup, sign up on Eventbrite, and go and attend these events. Then we have local city events. You might see a flyer somewhere, or you're at a bar, you hear they're having an after party at the bar or happy hour. Partake in these things. Workshops offered by the government, or again, happy hour. So there's this SBA, for example, in New York City. There's a lot of different community organizations that put on networking events. Some of them are just literally called business networking event. 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And in this photo, we have one of the earlier site meetings. I think this was back in 2016. It was a huge networking event at the WeWork in Charging Boat, 25 Broadway in Manhattan. And we've used that WeWork so many times because that is just a really great way to connect with people, networking with them in person, talking, laughing, seeing facial expressions, engaging, and really building a strong relationship with others is a very key part of networking. So pointers when you're doing this in-person networking. We're going to go over some do's and some don'ts. The first do is have meaningful conversations. Don't just walk up to, and I guess we could go the do's and the don'ts. So have meaningful conversations. It's better to talk to 3 or 4 people in the 2-hour, 3-hour span of the networking event and have valuable, strong conversations that will make them remember you versus 100 people who won't even remember your name. Don't run around the room trying to give your business card to everybody that you see. It's annoying. Trust me, I've been there. They're not going to remember your name. You're not going to be valuable. They'll throw out your business card or put it somewhere and never touch it again. Unless it's speed networking, they do have speed networking events where the purpose is to 30 seconds, you have to rotate with other folks in the room. If it's not speed networking, don't run around the room giving out your business cards. We don't want it. Talk to us. Talk to me. Have a conversation. Let me remember your name so well that I could then, if I don't get your business card, look you up on LinkedIn, Google you, Facebook, whatever it may be. But if you just hand me a business card and try to run over and talk to the next person, I'm gonna be like, this guy's not serious. This girl's not serious. They're not trying to build a relationship with me, which is very important. The next do is focus on how I can add value to this person. How can I add value to this person? What can I give to them? People are so strung up with receiving and receiving and receiving, when giving first makes you more likely to receive on the back end or the other side of it, because no one wants to just, hey, what can you do for me? What can you want you to act, and take. No one wants that, right? Don't focus. So back to the don'ts. Don't focus on, oh, what can I get from this person? Are they well connected? Are they rich? Are they, do they have a platform? Do they have an audience? Don't focus on that, because then you're just looking at what you could take from that person, and that person is going to notice it, and they're not going to want to build a relationship with you or engage with you. Again, value, and how can I help this person? How can I be valuable? How can I give insight to this person that I'm going to be networking and building this relationship with? The next do is make sure you ask questions. Be a conversation starter. I remember back when I first started networking and meeting people, this was one thing that, highlighted me. I didn't do it on purpose, but if I have a question, I'm not going to shy away from asking. I'd be in rooms with, influencers, people, really, really smart people. And again, I said I started when I was really young. Back in 2014, I was barely 18, maybe 19. I think I was 19. I'm not sure, but I was really young, under 21. I couldn't even drink when I went to these networking events. And, they would use terms, and I'm like, hedge fund or VC, they would use acronyms. And I'm just like, what's that? Hello, what does that mean? Can you explain that to me? And because I asked these engaging questions, or for deeper understanding, I didn't just let it fly past my head. I'll Google it later. I would ask these questions to continue the conversation and that dialogue. People want to be engaged, whether it's online or in person, engaged by talking back. Don't just be, okay. Who wants to talk to somebody like that? I sure don't. So again, the don't is don't shy away from participating. If there's a group activity, if they're like, oh, come to the stage and pitch. I did this in one of my very first events that I went to, come to the stage and pitch. I didn't even know what the heck I was pitching, but I got up on that line and I participated. Show up. Don't just shy away. You already came out your house. Be present, be active, be a conversation starter, ask questions. And the last thing on the do is be clear with who you are and what you do. If you're not 100% sure, say something that you are sure about. I am Georgie, I'm a student. If you are not sure if you're launching something, what you're doing next, don't mention it. Just say who you are and what you are sure about, so that way it's memorable. Don't go off on a spiel. Oh, I'm an innovator, doer, dreamer, blah, blah, blah. That's great for your LinkedIn profile, but just be clear with who you are. I'm Georgie, I'm a marketer. I'm Georgie, I'm working on this. That way it's easy to remember, and folks could again point things in your direction when necessary and give you those referrals that you might need in the future. Oh, okay. Online networking now, right? So here we have, again, I love these gifts. We have marshmallow marshmallow high five on the computer. And we see online networking all the time, from Facebook groups to LinkedIn groups to Slack channels, Instagram, Twitter, signing up in your DMs, Snapchat, YouTube, webinars, just like this one. Online networking is real, and it is time for you to start engaging and participating. You can't just sit behind your screen and say, okay, maybe I'll like this thing or comment on this thing once in a while. Be an active participant, and that's how you will be memorable. People can't look at your face anymore like they did in the past, or judge you in that manner. You have to now be engaging, be memorable, be an active participant. So here we go again. So when you're doing in-person networking, as I was mentioning, online networking, some pointers for that is, again, similar to in-person networking. Ask questions, be a conversation starter, be the person that asks too many questions in that Facebook group. It will pay off and it will be valuable. Be that person who offers to help folks in that Facebook group. That's another do. Participate. If there's another person asking a question, give an answer. If you don't know an answer and you do know someone who does have an answer, tag that person. Be helpful. Give as much as you can. Turn on your webcam. If you have a camera, we all have cameras. So it's not even back in 2012 or not even 2010 when they say, oh, I don't have a webcam, I can't video chat. We all have a phone with a camera, laptops with a camera, just regular webcams, we have it. Turn your camera on when you can. Put your hair in a bun, brush it up, put a little lotion on your face, put on a nice shirt, and turn your webcam on. It's so important for when you're doing these. If you have the opportunity to turn on your camera, turn it on so you could see, facial expressions are still important. Engaging with people is still very, very important. Even though it's digital, it's nice to see a human face. Another do is be clear with what you do and how they can refer you. This is an important one that I learned a little later in the game, but if someone says, okay, Georgie is the person to go to for logos, then every time someone comes to them for a logo or for anything designed, they will think of you instantly, and that's how you get the referral. That's how you build your network from those contracts. Now to the don'ts. Don't try to sell your products and services all the time or just to get followers and views. That's not fair. Again, you're on a take mentality, and no one wants to be around someone that's going to just take from them and not give. Most channels, they allow you to, or most digital networking groups, there are days, times, and specific places and ways to sell your product or announce your product and service. And so, follow those rules and do it on those appropriate days. But just every time you post, oh, I'm having a sale, oh, big promotion, oh, it's okay to post about what you're doing, but to over post about it, not good, because everyone's going to think, okay, this person just wants to make some money off of me, and that's it. Again, look back at the do's, ask questions, help others. If you're giving, if you're giving, but then you're once in a while you say, hey, this is my service, purchase this, purchase that, it will add up. But if you're just, oh, purchase, follow, like, it's like, no. Don't shy away from participating. Yes, it's digital. Yes, it's 100,000 people in this group, but you are a unique individual and your insight does matter and it does count. So please participate. Say something, add your input. Even if someone else has said something similar, your input and your opinion and your voice matters. So please use your voice digitally as well. Don't join too many groups, because the noise of the internet is already so loud. Technology is so loud. We have our phone, iPad, Apple Watch, smartwatch, pager, Alexa. There's so many things that are distracting. So if I would suggest, try not to join more than like 5 to 10 groups. If it's more than 10, you need to cut down. I had to remove myself from a couple of groups in the past years because at different times, different circles and different groups are valuable to you. There were a lot of groups that I was in that were more so beginner. As I moved on, I left those groups and participated in like the more advanced groups. But I still would be a part of some of the beginner ones because I wanted to, again, give back, help pay it forward, help someone else that was me in the past. But if you're in too many groups, you're splitting your attention so many ways. And if you have 100% to give and you're splitting it 15, 20 ways, you're just giving like this much per section. So try to, be really valuable and also conserve your time and your energy so that way you're giving to yourself as well as you're giving to others. Don't join too many digital groups. Don't join too many physical groups. Don't overdo it. Do your best and that will be, good enough. Again, to reiterate, don't get too overly distracted. If you're in the group and you're partaking in a conversation, try not to have 1,400 million tabs open. It will be distracting, and you're looking at this and you're looking at that, and you forget to comment. It's just a whole mess. The internet is so crazy between ads and this and that. And my grandma's posted this picture. My cousin messaged me. Try to keep the distractions as low as possible so that we can manage your time and be as effective as possible with your online networking. So the follow-up, right? You met somebody online, you met them in person, you guys had a great conversation, you guys are giving, throwing value back and forth with each other. You get their contact information. I would highly suggest follow up with this person within 24 hours. Whether it's an email, a text message, whatever form of communication you guys have agreed to, do follow up. Say, hey, it's Georgie. We met last night. It was great to meet you. We talked about X, Y, and Z. Hope your puppy is doing well. My kids are fine. Talk to you soon. That way, you keep the conversation going and you're just following up, letting them know, I remember you. We had a great conversation. Keep me in mind. We are all busy. We are all too busy for everything. So if you just give someone an assistance, even if you guys both send each other a follow-up email, that's completely fine. Just letting them know, I'm busy, you're busy, I respect that, I respect you, I respect myself, but I'm just following up to let you know I value our relationship that we're about to build. As well as if you think, if you guys talk, oh, I think it'd be great to meet XYZ. I used to do unsolicited introductions. That's when, I'm friends with Sally and Bob. Well, I know Sally and Bob, and Sally and Bob want to meet each other. Well, no, Bob wants to meet Sally, right? And so Bob says, hey, Georgie, can you introduce me to Sally? And I'm like, okay. And then I send an email to Sally. Hey, Sally, this is Bob. We met here. I think it'd be great to work with. Don't do that. It's not proper etiquette to do that because Sally might be overwhelmed with emails. And now if she doesn't reply to Bob, Bob is going to think Sally is ignoring her when she just literally doesn't have the time. Right now might not be the best to do the introduction, and just other things are going on, right? So it's best to say, hey, Bob, thanks for asking me to introduce you to Sally. Then emailing, hey, Sally, Bob would like to meet you. This is about Bob. Are you able to take an introduction right now? And leave the yes or no up to Sally. Because if you force her to get that introduction, it looks bad on everybody's part, right? So just most times people will say yes, but you have to also respect that people do have the choice and they do say no. And this was like a shock to me because I'm just like, oh, everyone wants to be connected. But it's not that they don't want to be connected. It's just sometimes it's not the right time or the right place. So just be respectful of that. And that's one of the quick tips that I've learned over the last couple of years. Ask for another follow-up conversation. Can we grab coffee in 2 weeks at 4 p.m.? Offer some insider assistance on something that they are working on that they told you about. You told me your website doesn't do X, Y, Z. I found someone that does do it. I do it. Again, create value. And I keep repeating this so much because it is so important. Don't keep tabs like, oh, I helped this person 7 times. Now they owe me nothing. If you just live and do and just be and, do what you can. I'm not saying give a whole bunch of free versions of your service. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying where you can assist and help and give insight that doesn't take anything away from you, but does add to the overall relationship, do so. Because that's how, family relationships work. That's how dating works. That's how any type of relationship that you're trying to build, you have to make the other person feel valued, feel that you care about them, because you do, right? That's really what relationship building is all about. And in the long run, that is what's going to increase your net worth, your value. How much are you worth, right? So next, we're going to jump into relationship building. Networking is the first step to relationship building. Again, back to dating, back to meeting new family members, back to everything. You will build that relationship by communicating. Communication is the key to everything. A clear line of communication will do you wonders. 2, showing your value, showing that you value them and that you're valuable to them, right? 3, be honest. We live in an age where there's so much fake news and fluff and tweaking and filters and this and that and blah, 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 blah. It's so crazy. Be honest with people. If you can do something, say, yes, I can. Here's when I can do it. But if you cannot, say, no, I can't. It's okay to say no, and it's okay to say yes. You have to decide within yourself as well as within the person you're communicating with what's possible, because making false promises or under delivering doesn't look good on anybody's part. Then that person might feel, oh, why is this not happening? Is it me? Is it them? Back to the communication, it's just a hot mess, right? So just be honest from the jump, communicate, show your value, be transparent if something is going wrong or something is really going well. Celebrate your wins, but also, don't be shy away from your losses. Like, let them know this happened. It's a learning experience. It's a little difficult. Hit me back up in a week. Hit me back up in a month. Hit me back up in a year. Hit me back up in 3 months. Be really honest and transparent about those things. And then giving value. I keep talking about value because it is so important. You have to be valuable. And then when the chance comes for that person to refer you to someone who needs your service, there's no hesitation or doubt about if you are the perfect person to receive that referral, because you are. There's so many things that I did without thinking back when I first started in the ecosystem of tech and entrepreneurship and just, learning and school, just my whole life. When I look back at it, it's just, I want to communicate, I want to help you, and it will be repaid to you. You might not feel it right now, like, oh, everything is kind of downer, but do what you can with what you have, and it will be repaid. Just be clear, be honest, be transparent. And like I said, tens of thousands of dollars have come my way through things that I did 3 or 4 years ago without even thinking too hard about it. I was in a position to help someone else. They valued the help. They saw that I valued them and the relationship that we built. And then 2, 3 years down the line, they're referring me to something that they know that I'll be great at. And it's a full-time job, part-time job, a gig, a client, and it's really paid off. Your network equals your net worth. So keep on building those strong relationships. So this is a little collage, I might call it, of some of the networking events that we've had with the Site Collective. As you can see, when I can't physically be there, the top left, I'm digitally there. I am zooming in, Skyping in, whatever it may be, because again, participating, there's no excuses to not participate these days. Every other photo, I was like taking the photo, except for this bottom right one. Again, I was digitally there. I was on some phone or some webcast somewhere in that room, because you have to show up. You have to be present. You have to show people that they mean something to you and you mean something to them. And you have to engage in the conversation. Look how at each photo, folks are engaged. They are paying attention to the person that's talking. They're listening intently. They are talking back. That's how you build communication. That's how you strengthen the communication. That's how you build a relationship. That's how you grow your network in an organic way. You don't need to, certain times you need to get like more clients and whatever it may be, you do ads. You cannot put up an ad for an organic, strong relationship. That does not work. You have to be present. That's where the human part of you comes in. So, I'll start to wrap up by going back to this slide, because I really, really want to reiterate relationship building. So make sure you're communicating, showing your value, being honest, being transparent, and giving value. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that, because it is really the key. Communicating, value, honesty, transparency, value. Is there like an acronym? Your CVVHT. Yes, that is the CVVH. All right, I'm clearly a crazy jokester. But thank you for taking the time out of your schedule to watch and participate in this webinar, because it is important to know what it takes to grow your network and your net worth. There are many other things you can do and many other tips, so feel free to add that in the comments so others can learn from your networking and worth building or your relationship building tips, and maybe circles that they could join, groups that they could participate in. I'm going to leave some of mine in the comments as well. Until next time, again, we'll be doing these workshops for Site monthly. You can reach out to me directly at Georgie@gsdwithgeorgie.com, or on social media, GSD with Georgie or Georgie Be Humble. And my website is www.gsdwithgeorgie.com. If you're not a part of the Site Collective already, go ahead and sign up at sitecollective.com. We are the premier #1 group for Caribbeans that are in tech and entrepreneurship. We're here to support you. We are community, again, a collective, and we are here to make everything grow and strengthen one another. Until the next webinar, thank you 100% again for those who were able to participate physically in the workshop and the webinar. I'm going to end the recording here. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me those questions, and please drop your comments in the suggestions in the comments. All right, cool. I've been watching too much Issa Rae. I'm about to start rapping, but let's not do that. Thank you guys so much for your attention and your time tonight, and have a great day or night until next time. Thank you.